Hey YouTube, it's East. I'm back again, reviewing my past self once more that you can see down below. I recently completed a 62 fear clear with the aspect of Mel Flames in the underworld, and every time I do these 62 fear clears, I like to kind of do an over-explain video where I pause the run and talk about different things, talk about some mechanics more in detail, and give my thoughts on the run because it's a lot harder to talk in detail about things while you are fighting for your life. With that, let's start the recording of the video and let's get to it. Well, uh, one day, Gigadash will line up and then we'll be happy.
This is fate.
Till then, back on the grind. Yeah, I wasn't happy. Garo's dash was not very good the previous run, so it's not like I had no skips. But no, So right away, just kind of starting off with the run, we're taking the Jeweled Palm, which gives us +3 to all of our boons, but it also lets us start off with the Hades boon. We are looking for usually Gigaro's dash, but on the Flames, I think that Cinerary Circle is also quite good, and so is Unseen Ire, which I've just picked up. One of the difficult things about beating like rivals bosses at this difficulty level with the Flames is that their movement doesn't use the sprint very much, and so it can be easy for them to get hit and take damage if you don't have the right hammers or boons. And Unseen Ire is nice because when you take damage, you become invulnerable for a short period of time, and that way you can like really lay in the damage. The Flames can deal a lot of damage if they're uninterrupted. No Arachne, kind of sad, right? And the immediate F special and Night Bloom opener. I'm still talking about the previous run. You can see me doing some specials there. Start off with a hammer. I believe this is an inverted blaze run. Pretty much always going to be inverted blaze here. The main hammers that I really like are Furious Blaze and Sudden Blaze. I think those are the top two, and then Inverted Blaze is usually the third. Inverted Blaze is very good at breaking down the wards. You'll notice in that combat, I did a lot of using the regular special combined with the regular attack, the Omega special, and the Omega attack. The key is to watch my mana pool. Basically, the Omega special is best at clearing these weaker enemies in Erebus quickly, and time is really of the essence early on with the Flames. So as a result, if I see a lot of smaller enemies, I'll use the specials to knock them out, using like Huntress to boost my damage. But if I see a bigger enemy, I will probably switch to the Omega attack. Now that I have Inverted Blaze, I will use the attack more often as well, because the attacks linger and can hit multiple enemies, and are usually pretty good. I don't know if Inverted or Dividing is better, but I think Inverted is better. Inverted is a lot better. Blaze so far. Man, what is wrong with this game and just giving me a boon? It had been a streak of bad luck before this run, but don't worry, things are about to change for past East. Watch the one-framer. Watch the one-framer. Good, we got him. The one-framer is the one-frame shark jump that can deal 18 damage to me if I'm not careful. Yeah, we should still be okay because we're inverted. Yeah. With Inverted Blaze, you'll see I use the attack more often just because it deals a lot of damage, and I don't have to worry about the special as much. Let's see what Hermes has for us. Really good one. Yeah. We want faster Omegas. Racing Thoughts is good. Enough with you. So, sometimes you will see other 62 Fear players, or even myself, take the first God boon that they're offered instead of going to Chaos. I had just recently come from a stretch of runs in which taking Hephaestus was not really working out for me early on in runs. And so, I decided instead to go to Chaos. Now, Chaos with Jeweled Palm is extremely risky. You can't re-roll or opt out of any of the Chaos boons. So if you get 3 bad ones, your run is cooked. But I am a gamer, and everyone knows that gamers never miss their RNG. So I go to Chaos all the time.
For a bit. You're on break until
Yes.
next time I run into a.
I'm cussing out Hephaestus right now, yeah.
This one?
That's a really good Chaos boon. I'm going to clear 3 locations in way less than 2 minutes. So it's pretty much free. And then on top of that, getting HP regeneration. I think all 3 of my runs have had revival now, which is a bit of a disturbing trend, but one that I'm noticing. It's a very, very strong Chaos boon with no healing in the game otherwise. Other than Ghost Onion, which I think you'll see in this run as well. So normally this room would have dealt a ton of damage to me, right? Like all of these armored enemies that I missed them with my cast can't do a great job of slowing them down right now with no boons. But because I have Unseen Ire, I take 1 hit, I take a little bit of damage, and then I can immediately go into shredding them to the point where I'm very well set up to not take any more damage in the encounter. Very cool. Very cool stuff. Nope. Still no boons. I promise for future runs that you'll be able to see my entire stack of gold. This is normally a very difficult mid-boss fight because of not having a boon. But I do take a little bit of damage, but Inverted Spark gets the job done.
Getting better at that.
I wonder which one I'm gonna take.
Yeah. That's a good one.
How about a friendly wager?
Nice.
How did you get here already? Anyway, it's your gold against mine.
How did I get here already? What floor am I on? It's location 7, right?
Yeah.
Make yourself
Location 7 in under 2 minutes is pretty good. Ow.
Okay. Relax. I do get HP regen though, so I can kind of go a little bit insano mode here.
Yeah, still in these encounters like the Nemesis and Artemis ones, it's just really important to
Any
try
sort of origination here is going to go
and
wild,
conserve your health.
I have one of the best. I would love like Smolder Ring into Thermal. Yeah, I think Smolder Ring into Thermal would be best. But like Arctic Ring is really good here. Rapture Ring is really good here. Engagement Ring is really good here. I have like really good
Origination with Blitz on a rapidly striking attack like this is like one of the tried and true combos in the whole game. It's just very, very strong.
single target. I just don't have very good area clear.
That settles it.
Max magic is fine. And now we have revival. You again.
I've also been cussing out Apollo for a while. It's not been good.
Olympus, I accept this message.
Blinding rush, I guess. I think this is extra dose.
I'm super wrong. And I come to my senses a little bit later here. One of the things that's going to be a common trend throughout this run is that I, as a player, discover how absolutely disgusting Lucid Gain is as a boon. This is a common level 4 Lucid Gain. I don't think it gets upgraded at any other point during the run, and it's so good for mana regen, as you will hear me say multiple times during the run.
14% multiplicative. It could also be Lucid Gain for Racing Thoughts. Yeah. It's actually probably Lucid Gain. More max mana?
Thank you for your service.
Wow, this is an insanely good skip run. Arachne now? Oh, I'm being tested.
It's always Apollo for what is a very high chance of getting Blinding Rush. These later on encounters in Erebus like this, where there are lots of enemies, are always very difficult.
I'm pretty sure I can't see any more max mana than this.
Yes, I've been offered a lot of max mana.
Drops. I'm gonna start seeing boons towards the end of this run,
which is both good and bad because it means my chances of skips are getting lower. This is location 10, yeah. So I can't get Arachne anymore again. Pretty unlikely to get shut out of Arachne twice in a row here. I wonder what the odds are on that, actually. I didn't get Arachne offered to me the run before this one either. This run has got the damage, though, that's for sure. For a no Giga Dash run, this is looking pretty good. You can see, even though I have Inverted Spark and Heaven Strike, that I'm still using my Omega Special a lot. It's just very, very good to clean up the wards from Valve wards, to just clean up those damage barriers and make sure that by the time Blitz hits, that it's hitting into not a shield.
Olympus, I accept this message.
Blinding Rush. Yeah, better than Solar Ring, I think. Yeah. One of the things mechanically that I don't think is super clear is that Blinding Rush works when you dash and when you sprint. There are a lot of sprints in this game, or things like, for example, Demeter's Frigid Rush, or Hera's Nexus Rush, where in order to get the effect from them, you have to be full-on sprinting to get their effects going. Whereas Blinding Rush, for some reason, seems to work only if you dash, and that's very important for the Flames, because the Flames are often not sprinting because they are holding down the firing button. They're doing this. So even though the sprint speed is not as useful from Blinding Rush, it's still useful, just not as useful. The fact that it causes an origination curse and a great curse effect in days, just from dashing regularly, is like super important and is very, very useful. Huge damage spike right there from unlocking origination. Apollo won't leave me alone, man. There isn't much I want from Apollo here at this point, but because this can be Static Shock, right? Storm Ring. Yeah. Whew, actually, Arc Flash is tempting here, and like Power Surge isn't bad either, but like obviously a 50 damage per tick Storm Ring is what we want to see here. Dude, this is crazy. I have a origination.
Sorry.
Gotta watch my time. Not bad. In a encounter like that, like at the God Trials with lots of like circles that deal damage on the ground, Blinding Rush is even more useful. You see, I did actually sprint quite a bit in that encounter. Another thing that I try to do is to hold my dash button, like not use my dash, and try to only dash once I see where the circles are spawning on the ground. It could be a very damaging fight if you don't execute properly. 136 is doable. Light Smite Supernova Self-Healing. This works. But I'll need one more fire. I think. Yeah, fun fact, self-healing's 30% damage recovery does work through Valve Scars. This is too good not to take. Light Smite's a good choice. Damage is quite nice. I would like a different god than these two, please.
Good evening, my dear.
Surprise, this is an insanely lucky Erebus. This is one of the craziest Erebus starts I think I've ever seen on any run ever. I have purple level 4 Zeus Blitz on my attack. I have level 4 blue Fine Line. I have mana gain to sustain it. I have an insane cast. This build as it is right now could probably beat Chronos. And I have lots of time to make it better. I run out of mana doing this though, right? I think I do, but I don't. But it's so strong. I just take Silver Wheel.
There she is.
So with Hecate on the Flames, I'm mostly trying to space myself out so I have enough room to dodge through her blasts when she does them. Other than that, the nice thing about attacking while dashing with the flames is that they don't remove your iframes on dashing if you're holding down the attack button. So that actually helps out with this fight quite a bit. Blinding, Rush, and Storm Ring do a lot of work in this fight as well.
Yeah, not bad. That's the fastest I've ever phased Hecate.
The little pause there is just to check what the triple divide spawns are. At this point, I'm getting pretty good at knowing which is the right Hecate every time. Unseen Ire is not so bad to get during this section because it means I can just kind of run around and kill everything. Got that one wrong, unfortunately. But a little bit tough towards the end there.
I could have played that better.
Yeah, I probably lost about...
Now it's like, I'm going to lose a DD if I go... I do lose mana pretty fast, though. I don't think I need it, though, because I get all my mana back every time I do this.
So, something that becomes immediately apparent to me is that I'm not actually running out of mana during these fights. And none of Hera, Apollo, or Zeus will ever offer me another way to make my moves cost more mana, except for Exceptional Talent, which I can't get. So I'm like pretty sure my mana cost will never go higher, and Lucid Gain sustained me through the whole run. Or at least through that whole fight.
I think because I get all my mana back, and also it's not even that bad if Fine Line's not up. I think I'm just happy to take Onion here.
I forget that I have Chaos Revival healing here, but I still think Onion is quite good. One of the things is because Jewel Palm's effect lasts for the entirety of the run, you constantly are getting this influx of like really, really powerful boons. And so like protecting your Death Defiances means that it's harder for you to lose health the deeper you go into the runs because you tend to snowball. So like making sure you don't lose a bunch of Death Defiances in Oceanus and Erebus is like, I think, one of the most consistent ways to win the run.
I could also hit Lucid Gain with Aromatic Vial, but I think it's fine.
Which keepsake now? The onion.
Centaur Soul does not really work with Onion.
I forgot about the Chaos Revival. I should probably have taken Centaur Soul there.
See here.
That's not the end of the world. Though, one way or the other.
Descent.
Max health, full DD's got a sick build. Want to try and keep ourselves alive as long as we can. Don't forget we want to dash a lot because of Inverted Smart. And cast a lot because of Lucid Gain.
Yep, exactly what I said. I want to be putting down the cast to get Lucid Gain all the time, and yeah, there was a
Lines on the floor, my one weakness.
I lost, I ran out of mana there. I notice and I'm a little confused there why I gained so much. You can see here that Unseen Ire is doing a great job of cleaning up as soon as I take one hit of damage.
My keepsake's out.
Why did I get plus 12 in that Ghost Onion?
Because of Chaos.
Oh, weird. Oh, I have Chaos Healing.
There it is.
I have Chaos Healing. I didn't need to take Onion.
A large amount of max HP benefits
That much anyways.
given to me.
I'm not going to take the Chaos Gate.
Yeah, I don't usually buy Chaos Gates. if I can
Hestia.
avoid them.
Okay, Snuffed Candle is good.
Yeah.
In the name of Hades.
Don't end up
Slow
getting offered
cooker.
that, but Slow
his
Cooker
power?
is great. Slow Cooker's a really nice base damage increase. Base power increases are really good because we have a lot of multiplicative, like we have a lot of percentage damage from Huntress and Origination that are on a lot. So base power is good for that. And on top of that, we have the critical hit chance. So even though a lot of our damage is coming from Blitz and also Fine Line, it's fine to take Slow Cooker here. It's Snuffed Candle, I think, would have been a little bit better for dealing with bosses, but Slow Cooker is totally fine.
These are all pretty inoffensive. I don't really want to take this, and I'm never going to click this button, so let's do that. Alright, don't die. Don't be an idiot.
At last, a worthy opponent.
I still haven't figured out the opening of this fight.
Hold still.
Sometimes I take a bunch of damage. But that one was damageless.
Smoking!
Okay, you take it easy.
What a monster.
Good stuff.
Whispers.
Would have loved Flash Fry from Hestia, actually, but...
Yeah, Flash Fry would have been really good. I really don't have that much problems with cleaning up mobs, though. As you can see, everything's kind of coming together and dealing enough AoE damage that stuff dies. And every time I take like one hit, I'm able to kind of go invulnerable, clean up the fight, and then pick up my regeneration on the way out.
Hee
Here goes.
Yeah, almost never do I take those shrines that require you to not take damage. They don't pause the timer, and you can lose a lot of health. And it's usually, you take one hit, it's not worth it. There's like some edge cases where if I had like a Festus thing that really wanted to be palmed, and I had like Demeter Arctic Ring to freeze enemies, so it's unlikely that I would take damage,
Bats again.
then maybe I would consider it, but this build does not need one palm of power, that's for sure.
Cool.
Doing very well.
There's something else to unlock. Let's just take max health.
Didn't have enough. Sorry
Should've
about
taken that
obscuring
cigar.
the money.
Cool. Okay, let's try not to mess this up too bad.
Sirens. Normally, I'm going to go down and get a quick KO, because I know I have a lot of damage. I'm going to go down to the bottom right and get a quick KO on that tentacle, and then sort of play it out from there. Just try to engage Scylla and Jetty as best I can, and KO them before Roxy kind of puts the AoEs, like you can't stand here or you take damage stuff. The like circle around the, not the one where it's the red circle around her, where it's the normal circle around her and red everywhere else. That's kind of what we try to do here.
Oh, you're not. You do not want to stand still against me, Scylla.
Yeah, that's pretty much a really favorable pattern from Scylla there, is to not run at me, but instead to stand still and channel. Because
Good.
I'll take that every day of the week. Ow. With all of the tentacles, especially once like a bunch of once Scylla and Jetty and Roxy are out of the way, the key with the tentacles is to approach them with your dash active, wait for them to start spinning, dash away from or through the spin, then re-engage, and you could usually kill them before they have their spin up again.
The visual clarity.
It's very hard to see what's going on. Yeah. This phase 2 is a little bit messy, but it's not the end of the world.
Dark.
Yeah, interesting thing that happened there. You can go dark even if you don't suffer any damage. Push effects like the water jets will activate Unseen Ire and turn you dark.
Good. All
Okay.
right, so don't get hit by Charybdis here, and we should be okay. Oh, missed. Apollo Dash actually putting in some serious work here.
Yeah, also if they miss with days, it will activate Unseen Ire.
Nice. It just engraved pin now. Insane Lucid gain value. Yeah, this build is actually cracked.
Pretty cracked
Lucid
build.
gain is going crazy. Chaos Survival's going crazy. Apollo Dash giving me Origination's going crazy. Storm.
If anyone's seen the videos previously, I explained this as well, but I'm going to be taking engraved pin here and keeping it probably for the rest of the run, unless I get offered gift from Echo. This is, I think, the best way to handle Unrivaled Cerberus second phase, and also it is just like really good in case something crazy happens in fields with a mini boss or something else like that. It lets me play very quickly and recklessly, which saves me a lot of time that I use in Tartarus. Not to take extra rooms or anything, but it's just nice to have extra time. Engraved pin, there's no downside to taking it. The only downside is you don't get like another benefit in room in the third biome. Like I won't have the effect of another keepsake. Like I could have taken Silver Wheel here and had like lots of mana, but I'm pretty happy to just go ahead and use engraved pin to keep my Death Defiances going for all of Fields and Tartarus.
Ring's doing a ton of damage. And then reapplying the Blitz is pretty sick. Yep. Good stuff. I'm so glad I took Lucid Gain instead of Extra Dose. This would have been a very different looking run. Okay. This is just a pretty clean engraved pin.
Excellent.
I'm happy to take Python Scales here.
Long way down.
So, just need to get harder to hit.
Come on, spit it out. There you
Harder
go.
to kill.
Harder to hit, harder to kill. Very true. Excellent analysis. That's a really good room.
This next hammer could be huge. If this hammer is sudden burst, I'm
Illuminate my path.
in very interesting shape.
Oh, okay. I should have made a joke about bursting there, but I didn't, so... That's what happens when you're 35, I think. You lose your youthful wit.
On top of this guy, because he's going to do bad things to me.
Yep. Tempests are the enemy of flames, I find. Their rotational projectiles are at like the perfect range you want to be for hitting people with the flames, so very tough.
Furious Blaze? Yeah.
Yeah, Furious Blaze is really, really good, and it's like kind of deceptive just how good Furious Blaze is. If you have things that increase your channeling speed, Furious Blaze will get in a few more attacks before your Omega attack comes out, and that actually stretches out. It takes a little bit longer actually to get Furious Blaze active. Sorry. With Furious Blaze, it takes a little bit longer for your Omega attacks to come out. Not very much, just a tiny bit. And that stretches out the mana gain from Lucid Gain a little bit better and makes it less likely for me to run out of mana.
Furious Blaze is a really nice hit.
The other benefit about it...
Harder to deal with. Or one way that I stay alive more is it actually gets really hard to hit me because I'm very fast.
Yes, that's the other benefit of this sort of thing.
Nice.
Is
I think
the movement speed bonus from Furious Blaze is also like really, really nice. It makes it so that I can reposition very easily and deal a lot of damage that way.
I think this one? Yeah.
I grow strong.
Alright, let's not choke to this guy this time.
Out of the way, Phantom.
Last time I fought Phantom, I lost like a whole Death Defiance. I just got punched to death by that Mauler that I just killed.
Where are you, Phantom? There you are.
They call Maulers Mourners. I don't know. The Muda Muda Punch guys.
Ready, Homer?
One of them did like all of my health.
Echo.
You're not alone. You're not alone.
Evasion is fine here.
Yeah. 50%
Ideally, I
dodge
wanted,
chance.
Give in.
ideally from Echo there, I wanted gift, 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 so I could take another keepsake into the Tartarus, but I've been very blessed throughout the run so far. I'm not happy. I'm not unhappy that I just got the evasion as well. Evasion's nice. It's just like a nice EHP boost that falls off over time.
More Hermes, I think.
Hermes is good.
Killing these guys real quick so I don't take damage from them. Good. Killing this guy so I don't take damage from him.
Yeah, so because I have like quite a bit of time, this is final chamber before Cerberus, or the final chamber before the final chamber before Cerberus. But in both those cases, the clock is not an issue. I have a lot of time. Normally, I get to this point in fields, I'm at like, I don't know, 4 minutes, 3.5 minutes, but I'm at 5 minutes and 38 seconds, so I have lots of time. And the way that that manifests in fields is you'll see me do a lot of very careful plays. One of the easiest ways you can like lose a Death Defiance, get completely messed up, is you get gored from off screen by these Eurobeat shades that run at you listening to like Initial D soundtrack, or you get sucked in by the Luigi's Mansion vacuum giant yellow shades. Both of those guys do not mess around, or thems. I don't know their gender. So I will take extensive time to go out of my way to destroy them, as you see me do here.
Rush of the dead.
Ooh, there's Hermes.
As you can see, the build is dealing a ton of damage.
I'm burning my evade stacks pretty liberally here. Blitz is such a crazy mechanic.
Blitz is good.
Mean streak. Quick buck. I think hard target.
I'm a really big fan of hard target slowing down enemy projectiles. I think it's very, very good for Tartarus. I think it's very, very good for like the remainder of fields here. Just in general, slowing down the enemies. This is sort of like for every enemy that attacks using projectiles, this is like turning off Vow of Frenzy for them, which is super huge. It also helps makes the fireballs from Cerberus a little bit easier to deal with.
Yeah, hard target. Makes it hard for me to die. What do we got? Ooh, hello.
Just those little like lightning bolts that are going across the screen from the spears that those guys are throwing, like all of these things that would normally require me to be a little more on point to dodge are
Man,
now
I
just
love Blitz.
30% easier to dodge. Ow.
Out of my
Still got hit. Tempest has got my number.
I can get out now.
What else we got? That's it. Static Shock?
Static Shock, come on.
Static Shock seems crazy, right?
That seemed very good, but I think I get something even better than Static Shock.
Oh. Do I have anything that deals 50 or less damage?
I don't have anything that deals 50 or less damage, but air quality is often like a pretty good late game pickup if you've got something like Demeter Gales going on. Notably, it doesn't work with Scorch, and it doesn't really work that well with Blitz either. I don't have any of those things. If I had like Prominence Flare, maybe it'd be fine. If I had Static Shock, it'd be good, but I think I'm just happy to go Double Strike here.
No? 30% more bolts from Stormring and Blitz? Sure.
Yeah, it's very strong.
Pure instinct now.
Is that was probably even better than Static Shock.
It was probably, yeah. Cerberus, I'm just kind of trying to stick on him. Thankfully, I have pretty good
Not bad.
evasion.
Oh, there's so much stuff going on right
Sorry,
now.
not evasion. Yeah, I have pretty good evasion
it's
and
even
also
higher than the
pretty high
meter
movement
now.
speed.
Oh, I just went right into that. Whoops.
I really do fight Cerberus like a psychopath.
Good iframe there.
Another miss, and we're pretty happy to just take our damage and trade in our engraved pin here.
Not my best work, but
Yeah, it was like fine Cerberus fight.
oh, base special. Yeah, probably the base heaven flourish. Nice.
Chat with the jokes.
I took a lot of damage there. My evade is pretty bad.
I lost
Can
like
you
half
play
of it.
Pingora next? No. Pingora, unfortunately, is dead.
Pink Aura was using special and Omega special on the old torches where there were lots of like orbs that would go around you, and you would take Aphrodite and like just run into people like a race car. It was really strong, really fun, but no longer viable at 62. 62 wasn't a thing when it existed.
Needed that.
Yeah, that one.
Should I do this?
Exactly what I wanted.
Witch's Mark is really nice, 50%
That-
more damage from our Omegas that we're using a lot.
Melcoat 62 is coming up.
Yeah, I gotta do Nurgle next, and then Persephone, and then Melcoat 62.
I'm just a little overconfident right now.
Realign.
I'm really worried. I don't have like the good DDs from Athena. I think this could be a very difficult.
I definitely don't think it can be a
Static
super
shock.
difficult
I don't wanna
Tartarus,
do this right
but
now.
I have found in general
Pick up.
that Flames can tend to struggle a little bit in Tartarus. Just there's a lot of stuff that I find that they're not very strong against, like Armored Thugs, Tempests, Gold Bags. The Flames are not as like, they don't cover large distances as quickly, especially with Blinding Rush, as like other weapons do. So the enemies that like run away or like do projectile stuff from far away or move around like these skulls can be really, really difficult for Flames to sort of deal with. Thankfully, I have a pretty cracked build right now, so I'm not super worried.
The skulls. I have an 8-minute Tartarus though. Like I'm good.
Yes, 8 minutes on the clock is incredible. Not much else to say. Good stuff. Never go to a side room except for Hades is pretty much my rule for Tartarus in general. No reason to change it here.
Got you.
Really lucky that Thug wasn't armored that just spawned, or I would have been taking a lot of damage.
This is the run. It's looking pretty good so far. These guys are a huge problem though.
Yeah, armored Thugs are tough.
Handled. How well I deal with armored thugs is a good general scent tool for like how I feel like the run is going in general. And these guys are getting low diff. Although
I
did
definitely
not do
just-
very well there.
Yeah, I
While
definitely just
playing.
dodged a bunch of times, luckily for me.
One left.
Lucid gain has been phenomenal for mana regeneration.
Yep. Good learning to take away for future runs that, you know, Lucid Gain, if I'm using mana on an aspect, Lucid Gain is going to pretty much solve my issues without me thinking too hard about it. Not a good
Really
spot to
awkward
stand.
Spot. I shouldn't be standing here.
Yeah.
Good.
Furious and Inverted are such a really good combo of hammers, though. Very nice. I'm looking around for
No,
the Hades door. Yeah.
No Hades.
I don't know the layouts in Tartarus that well
I
yet.
really want deep descent here. Maybe it's asking for too much though, given how well all the other RNG has gone here.
Oh, Looking good so far.
Nice.
Last room, Hades.
This is the perfect Hades.
So when I say it's the perfect Hades, what I mean by that is because of how the mechanics of Tartarus work, you want Hades to appear as late as possible into the run of Tartarus. Basically, every room has an incrementing counter of encounters, and more enemies will show up the longer you wait in Tartarus. The more side rooms you take, the more difficult. Basically, when you do your first fight in Tartarus, that's like Tartarus level 1. Second one is level 2. Third one is level 3. If between level 3 and level 4, you go to Hades, instead of the next room being level 4, it's going to be level 5. And then instead of 5, it's 6. Instead of 6, it's 7. This is why taking like mid bosses and stuff like that is generally like pretty scary to do in Tartarus. So after level 6, if I go to Hades, well, I'm not going to be taking a regular encounter. I'm going to be going right to Kronos. So there's no problem with doing that. Oh, hello, Webs2D. Thank you very much for the raid. Hey, everybody. Sorry, I'm in the middle of recording something right now, but thanks all so much for dropping in. Welcome in, welcome in. I'm just about to finish my Overexplain recording of my 62 Fear Mel Flames run.
Into Deep Descent.
And then we'll be doing some Nurgle runs, so you guys can watch that. Anyways, back to the recording.
What does Apollo give me now? Will he brick my build?
So what I'm checking for here, and this is good practice to do, especially if you're doing high fear runs, if you've taken a lot of boons from a god, open the Book of Shadows in this final shop before Kronos, and just check and see if there are any boons that you're eligible to still receive, so you can't accidentally get the run bricked. Like, I would really hate for Apollo to force me to take Solar Ring or Nova Strike here instead of Heaven Strike and Storm Ring, because that's going to significantly lower my damage. So instead I go and I see that I can actually get Backburner offered to me. I qualify for it, so I'm happy to take Apollo here and get a huge Backburner.
I have this, I have this, I have this.
Hey, everybody in chat.
I can get Backburner,
Welcome in.
right? Yes, so he cannot brick my build.
In the name of Hades. Possible exchange.
Yeah.
Although, you know, that Nova Strike didn't seem that bad.
Can I backstab Kronos?
Yes, you can backstab Kronos. I don't know why I asked that question. Stupid question.
There we go. Get him. I can still absolutely choke this fight.
Wow, it worked.
But I have a really, really good build.
So I personally find Kronos very, very difficult to fight with the Flames, mostly just because of things that I mentioned previously in this video, but I don't find the Flames to be that, able to cover large distances quickly or that mobile. So I often find myself dashing, but not quite getting out of the range of Kronos' attacks, and taking a bunch of damage as a result. I'm also, at the very start of this fight, going to really tunnel vision on damage, and you'll notice that I sort of wake myself up and start playing the rest of the fight better. But the first 5 to 10 seconds of this fight are basically a disaster.
The fates themselves could...
A little overeager.
Yeah, already taking damage at this point is, like, really tough.
Okay, I need to calm down.
Yeah, taking about 100 damage here so far. Gotta reset myself. Managed to recover pretty well, though. After that disastrous early start, I don't take any damage for the rest of Phase 1, which is really good.
Just very bad P1, but salvageable still.
Yeah. Apollo Dash makes this phase this opening part of the phase a lot easier. There's the phase into phase 2. I almost never, ever, ever kill any of the Tempests on purpose. If I have a good enough build to get to Kronos, I'm just racing him at this point. There's no reason for me to go and kill the ads, I think. Evade, 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 definitely doing some work here, but also that's damageless P2.
Just needed to recenter myself. Yeah.
This is another part of the fight that is super helped by Blinding Rush from Apollo. Apollo definitely clutched up this run for sure. So I'm pretty happy that I've managed to save Engraved Pin all the way to this point, because I definitely have enough damage to phase him. Let's answer a couple questions. You don't aim for Deep Descent? I did get Deep Descent from Hades this run. So that's probably one of the reasons why I often don't bother focusing the Tempests, is that I have Deep Descent on pretty often. Red says the healers are actually mega juiced up now. Without mega busted damage, you're kind of cooked. I think without mega busted damage, you just like don't get past Cerberus. But, you know, you play more difficult modes than me, so maybe it's closer. Yeah, it's a Jewel Palm start, so I have 2 Hades spoons. Unseen Ire is also very good to take from Hades, especially on Flames.
Alright. Phase him.
Yeah, so... Sucks that I died, but I'm going to use this opportunity to phase him, and I do end up getting to the mid-phase. Gonna run my ass away from Kronos and Klonos here real quick. Listen to that drums. Good stuff. He summons the hands. We'd love to see the hands with our build. Ow. Take it easy, please. Let's invert. Do some damage. Damage, damage, damage. Right in the middle of the racing stripes. Trigger the combo breaker. Run away from the lasers. Lewis Cole is such a cool drummer. And yeah.
Get off my screen, Kronos.
Oh, look at him talking some trash.
Twitch ads moment. Sorry, guys.
Oh, yeah. Apparently Twitch ads started playing during this fight.
Ad break.
Yeah. I need to look at my ads. Yeah, the drums do go crazy.
No. That was the worst first 20 seconds of a Kronos fight I think I've done in a long time.
First 10.
By the cleanest fight after.
Yeah.
And that's Mel Flames.
It's Meltorch and Joera. Love seeing that W.
The Kronos. Whack. Nice.
All right,
nice,
welcome
nice,
in everybody
nice.
from the raid. We're gonna wrap this up real quick and get it ready for YouTube, and then we'll get to the runs.
Well, thank you all for getting me like 1 cent worth of Twitch ads while Kronos.
I'm gonna move my face out of the way real quick so you can take a look at some of the damage numbers here. I thought it was really cool that I had 5 different damage sources over 70,000. Attack did stuff, and Omega attack did stuff, Blitz did stuff, Fine Line did stuff, regular attack because of inverted spark, or inverted blaze, and Cass. So yeah, that's the Overexplain for the Aspect of Malinois clear. I hope everyone enjoyed it. If you liked watching this video on YouTube, make sure you subscribe, and if you want, you can check me out live on Twitch, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Usually around 7 p.m. Pacific time, and earlier on the Saturday. Until then, take care, and have a great rest of your day.